In this video, we are going to talk about VeChain, some of its recent price action, the important support and resistance areas, and where we can expect the price of VeChain to go in the next few days and weeks. So a look at the weekly chart, and what we can see right here is that VeChain has been continuously dumping for over a year now, since late 2024, and it has been performing absolutely horribly. And more recently, we've seen VeChain lose this crucial support area that was a pretty strong support from back in 2020 and even 2018. If we zoom in on the chart a little bit, as you can see, VeChain has been trying to get a rally off of this level in the last couple of months, but then it pretty quickly broke down below it, and it is now very clearly below the support area. It is now at another support area. As you can see, it's this level that was pretty significant as a resistance back in 2019 to 2020, but this is the first time that VeChain was at these levels since 2020, and honestly, this support area does not seem very convincing in my opinion. With how poorly VeChain has been performing for such a long time, no matter what the rest of the crypto market does, whether Bitcoin rallies or dumps, VeChain just seems to continuously dump no matter what. So it seems to me that the most likely outcome, unless the entire crypto market just gets an absolutely explosive rally, is that VeChain will just continue to dump in the long term. In general, what I'm thinking about the crypto market right now is that Bitcoin does have a very good chance of getting at least some sort of a relief rally pretty soon. It has been dumping very violently in the last few weeks and months, and Bitcoin is now at the lowest level it's been at in years, and it is looking pretty cheap at the moment in my opinion. So I do think that a rally in the rest of the crypto market is pretty likely. But again, even if that happens, I still don't think that VeChain has a very good chance of having a sustainable rally. And I think that even if it gets a bit of a rally in the short term, what would eventually happen is that VeChain will just continue dumping. I'm really not hopeful about VeChain. The structure of it is looking pretty horrible. And on the long term, it has been in a downtrend since 2021. So honestly, I think that a new all-time high for VeChain anytime soon, or even in the next few years, is next to impossible unless something absolutely insane happens. A smaller rally perhaps to this trend line that was created by these highs from back in 2024 still seems very unlikely, but a bit more possible. So yeah, even if the rest of the crypto market does very well pretty soon and Bitcoin actually gets a very significant relief rally, perhaps getting all the way up to about 100k, and even if we get a bit of an alt season, which still seems a bit unlikely at the moment, but even if all of that does happen, I still don't see VeChain doing that well. Maybe it could get a rally up to this next resistance area. This would be a rally of about 2x from where VeChain is at right now. But yeah, with how small of a market cap VeChain has and how risky and volatile it is, I really don't think that it's worth it to hold VeChain right now. And in general, I think that an alt season is still pretty unlikely, even if we do get a pretty explosive relief rally by Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin and Ethereum are pretty likely to do quite well in the next few months. And if that does happen, then the rest of the altcoin market will likely follow it, at least to some extent. But I think that a real alt season where most altcoins outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum is still pretty unlikely. I think that some altcoins will do very well. So what I would personally do is stay heavy in Bitcoin and Ethereum and strategically get into some altcoins that have a very good structure, but VeChain is definitely not one of them. So obviously this is not financial advice whatsoever, but I would definitely avoid VeChain. Of course, with how unpredictable and volatile it is, I could be making another video about VeChain in a couple of months and the entire picture could be changed, but at the moment I really don't see any reason to be hopeful about VeChain. This doesn't mean it can't rally. As I said, if the entire crypto market does well, then VeChain will likely get at least a bit of a rally, but I wouldn't even consider getting into VeChain personally. So yeah guys, not much more to be said. I'll keep this one short. That's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it and you want more updates about VeChain as well as other altcoins, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.